Hi, this is John with One Lens 2, and today I'd like to show you some video of what used to be the biggest airplane that regularly landed at Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport. I'm talking about British Airways Flight 289 with non-stop service from London Heathrow, which up until recently was a Boeing 747-400, which is, well, really big. On October 27, 2019, British Airways started using the Boeing 787 Dreamliner to ferry passengers between London and Phoenix. So this might be the last video I ever get of this majestic aircraft in the skies over Phoenix. There were two common flight paths for Flight 289 when British Airways was flying a 747. The first flight path came in from the northeast over Mesa and then turned to the west to line up with the runway at Sky Harbor Airport. The second flight path was much more interesting for plane spotters. On this flight path, the plane came in from the northwest and then made a giant U-turn over Mesa to get on that westerly heading to line up with the runway. The best place that I found to watch this part of the 747's flight path was in Quail Run Park in Mesa, which is right in the middle of this U-turn in the sky. Here's Flight 289 heading east as seen from the park, just about ready to start the U-turn. According to FlightRadar24.com, the 747 is flying at an altitude of about 6,000 feet and traveling at about 220 knots. That's about 253 miles an hour. Yeah, about the wobbly airplane, the video that I took was a little shaky, so I had to stabilize it in my video editing software. That helped a lot with the shakiness, but the process chops off the outside part of the view and can make the plane look a little wibbly wobbly at times. Here the aircraft is in the southbound part of the U-turn. It's about 5,500 feet in the air and traveling at about 210 knots, which is about 242 miles an hour. The pilot must not be using much power from those four huge Rolls-Royce engines because the plane is surprisingly quiet as it continues to descend from its higher cruising altitude. And now the 747 is banked right to head to the west to line up with runway 29 right at Sky Harbor Airport. Here's Flight 289 completing that right turn to line up with the runway. It's the same right turn from the last shot, but now I'm recording video at the airport viewing area next to the runway. The plane is about 10 miles from the runway, so luckily I'm using my Nikon P1000 ultrazoom camera for this shot. It was a hot summer day in the desert, so there's a lot of atmosphere and heat waves making the picture look a little wavy. And here comes the landing gear. I should probably mention that this is a collection of video clips that I shot on a few different days over the summer, and then assembled the clips in the order of the actual flight path. Here's another shot from the airport viewing area, which is on the north side of the east end of runway 29 right. The plane's about 4 or 5 miles out from the end of the runway. And this is a view from a parking lot at Priest Drive and Washington Street in Tempe. Now, Flight 289 is about 2,300 feet overhead and traveling at about 150 knots or 173 miles an hour. Here, the 747 is about 1 3/4 miles from the end of the runway. And now British Airways Flight 289 is cleared to land, so please ensure that your seat backs and tray tables are in their full upright and locked positions as we watch and listen to the landing. British Airways is on the east side of Terminal 4, which is all the way back on the opposite side of the airport, so the 747 has a long taxi to the gate. No, really, it takes a long time for the plane to get to the gate after it lands. Before it can pull up to the gate, the 747 makes its second U-turn of the day. What a great view of the unique shape of the one and only Boeing 747. In this close-up shot, we can see some of the flight crew that's been flying this aircraft for about 10 hours. Well, that's all, folks. I hope you enjoyed watching the 747 as much as I do. I sure hope British Airways puts the 747 back into service over the skies of Phoenix. Or maybe one day they'll fly a whole lot of them to Phoenix.